Well, tell me, what do you want? Is it time for your nap? Do you want to go back to bed? Talk to me. Talk to me. Lucy. You're so cute. I was going to take you guys along with me to pick up his prescription refill at the pharmacy, but today is not my day to go out and people. Some days I can handle it and some days I cannot, and this is one of those days. There are two types of drivers in my small town. One type is a little bit the older crowd, I mean even older than me, who thinks that they're the only ones on the road and they just kind of do and go wherever they want, you know. And then the other kind are the people who seem to always be in a bad mood and want to kill everybody that's out in front of them. Excuse me. So, see, I went outside and now my allergies. So I have that to deal with. Then I get to the pharmacy and the girl was like kind of pissy, and I asked her how much some vitamins were, if she could see for me how much the vitamins were before, you know, I got serious about buying them. And she just kind of looked at me like, really? And so she said, well, I have to scan it. So whatever. If you're having a bad day, I mean, we all have our bad days. I was in the line of fire. It's okay. So I didn't, once I got there, I didn't want to film because I didn't know what else was going to happen. So, like I said, there's just some days that I can deal with people, and there are some days that I am better off just to stay at home by myself and do my thing. And today is one of those days. So, if I do anything else exciting, I will let you know. Oh, there is one other thing exciting. So, our house is going to be 2 years old in October, and we've never had a storm door because, you know, they don't put those on automatically. I mean, we like to have a storm door because we like to have the screen and get the breeze through the front door. Well, he put a storm door on the door into the laundry room from the garage, and it was, you know, cut and dry and was supposed to be like easy and no problem. It took all day, and we had to recruit the help of our neighbor because it just wouldn't go. And there was no problem. There was no, you know, nothing weird or angles or anything about it. But our front door has one of those side lights, so, and a fancy handle. So it has to be built out, first of all, a little bit, and then the door installed. And I don't know, you know, as you get older, you just find more, it's harder to do things. I notice with him, it's harder for him to do things. And I mean, I remember my dad when he got older, you know, my husband and my dad, they're pretty much alike, where when they did something, it was meticulous and it was correct, or it wasn't done, you know. And when you get older, you get tired and you get weaker and you get shaky. And I begged him, please don't try to put the front door on. Please don't try to put the front door on. He went back and forth about 3 months. Once we started talking about it, he finally agreed to have it done by a professional. Yes, it costs more than it should, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. So the guy came out this morning at 8 o'clock. My husband made that appointment for him to come and measure. He goes, he'll be here at 8 o'clock. Well, you know, I'm still in my jammies at 8 o'clock, so I had to get up and get dressed and stuff, but no big deal. But I'll show you how that turns out. So it might be a couple more weeks. So I hope you guys can hear me because it's pretty windy out here. I wanted to show you um, some things in my yard, like our tree. This was a baby tree when we moved in a year and a half ago. It was probably to right here is how the taller it was, and so it's grown that much. So that's pretty good. And then we have this hill, or as they like to call it, the berm behind us. We were promised trees and grass. We finally sort of kind of got grass, but I don't know. It is what it is. And my ferns that I love these. I used to have them on my front porch at the other house, but I can't have them on my front porch here because A, the wind, and B, the west sun hits it directly and burns them up. So they're happier out here in the back on the patio. And I had him hang them up here, and they have just gotten so big. You can see how much they've hanging over, and I'm telling you, you cannot water these things enough. You can water them 3 times a day, and I swear you wouldn't drown them. I have to water them every day until the water pours out the bottom, and then they like to have their leaves sprayed, so I do that every day. Then I had to put my fake flowers on the table because little Miss Lucy kept eating them. And then over here are some rose bushes. We weren't sure that they were going to bloom or make it out this year, and I was under the impression, since they're called iceberg roses, they would be white, but they're either yellow or blooming out peach, but they're beautiful. So we've got this one. I wish we would have put the other one over here next to it, but we didn't. Instead, we put it down here. And this one has struggled a little more, and I think it's because when the sun comes around, it hits this plant all the way up until sunset, and I think that's too much for it. But up here, that plant gets shade from the house. So yeah, I mean, there are things that I like about living out here, and there are things that I don't like living out here. You could see when I was over there how close our neighbors are, and that's not their fault. The builders built their house not square on the lot, or we wouldn't have been quite that close. And even though they put up a privacy fence, I mean, we're friends, but it's not like we're, fear thy neighbor or anything. But you can still hear when they're talking, and that means they can hear when we're talking and what we're talking about. So we had a very serious discussion about a month ago about whether or not we were going to stay or going to go. And I told him, believe me, you have not known a procrastinator. If you don't know my husband, you have never known a procrastinator. It is a serious flaw. And I told him, you don't have 3 years to decide. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons. We weighed them together, and then I put it in his lap. And I said, you let me know if we're going to go or if we're going to stay. And this is right before everything started, like interest rates started going back up and everything, right before that. So I said, not only is our age a factor in making decisions, but what's going on around us is also, like with the rising interest rates and so forth that we saw coming. And he never said anything, and I let it go for a couple of weeks, because if we were staying, I was going to put my whole heart and soul into this place and get some things done. So I asked him, are we going or are we staying? And he said, probably staying. And I said, that's not an answer. I need to know. And so he said, yeah, we'll stay. At this point, we'll just stay. So that is what we are going to do. And the first project that I had him do, after that decision was made, was this wall. This wall is so big. So here's the kitchen. I had these shelves put in, and then all this wall over here was still empty. I had pictures over here. I had baskets over here. I had faux flowers over here. I mean, you name it. I had lanterns hanging off the wall. I tried everything, but it's too big of a wall that it doesn't, I don't know, it was too busy, it was too colorful, it just was too much. It was always just too many things and too much. So we found this and did that last week when he was on vacation. So that was the first project that I had him do. And then I just got a delivery from Amazon. I think I mentioned the other day that I am going to change out my bedding for the fall, but this came and I wanted to spread it out. Now I have a queen size bed, and they sent me a king size duvet cover. Okay, first of all, this is the first time I've ever had a duvet thing going on. So we'll see. I've always just had comforters. I didn't even understand what a duvet cover was. But anyway, I will put my comforter thing, or however you do it, inside this, I guess. And this is, as you can see, it's a cream color. It matches that one pillow that I have up there. I'm going to get 2 black pillows to put up there and a black throw to throw on the end of the bed. And when I get all that done, I'll show you guys. But I just wanted to show you this so far. The king size will work on a queen size bed. In fact, you get a little more material and it covers better, because you see the one that I'm using now only comes down part way to the bottom of the mattress, and that's if I fight with it. So this one will come down farther when I get it all on there and stuff. So there's that. And one more thing I forgot to tell you guys. This at the foot of the bed here is a table runner. But it matched so good in here with the gray and the cream for this summer that I just put that on there instead of ordering a throw and have to spend more money. So yeah, it's a table runner. Worked out really well. So earlier in this video, I told you guys we were going to get a storm door on our front door, and the people right across the street, Home Depot or somebody's over there now doing theirs. Oh well, it's not a competition, right? I just wanted to get on here and thank you all for watching. This is my first attempt at doing a day in the life, and I know that it's not real exciting, but I got to, you know, introduce you to my backyard and show you some of my flowers and my plants and everything and what I did today. But it was kind of fun, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.